You review it, I review you. This is my partner, Mr. It, and... I'm sorry, what are we reviewing again? Silver Quill's review of the MLP episode 3's a Crowd. Me. No, you know what? It's okay. Me? Yeah. I think it's about time I stop making a big deal about looking at brony material. As long as they don't take violent measures to convert me to their fandom.
Tom, so let's get compelled, you reviewer!
Join the herd, reviewers.
I'm good.
I'd like to test some fan reactions. Which is better for you, guest star number 1?
Meh.
Or guest star number 2? Cameo number 1 and cameo number 2.
I don't get the big deal.
Jeezy Pete's, guys. He didn't even have a speaking role.
Something tells me that's part of the problem.
We begin with an elimination round.
And when he says elimination round, unfortunately he doesn't mean a mass slaughtering. Okay, I'll stop.
One of the biggest complaints for this season is how all 6 ponies are carried into events where they don't necessarily have an impact. And I think this episode takes the right step in giving the ponies reasons to be absent.
I don't see what the problem is. They're friends. Friends tend to do things together.
It's just a shame that we'll never see how Fluttershy's trip went.
It'd probably be boring anyway.
Subtlety wins the day here. The jokes that made me laugh were actually very subdued, except for Pinky's farewell to Fluttershy. Stuff like Pinky's need for Ritalin, however, was to look at me, I'm funny, to earn my laugh.
Yeah, in my opinion, that is 90% of Pinkie Pie's humor.
Oh well, no time for that. We've got a returning character to greet. With the most annoying entrance ever. I take it back. I want one. Presenting the Hippogriff Ambassador and 19-something-2 burping battle champion, Silver Quill. Note to self, start a patron account so I can afford an actual trumpet band.
Either that or get a particularly good kazoo player. I hear Paw's up for hire.
Yes, it's the return of Princess Cadance, and I won't lie to you guys, I'm not a huge fan. It's not that I think Cadance is a bad character. She's had plenty of triumphant moments, some funny scenes, and a gorgeous singing voice. We also see, oh my gosh, a crystal Pegasus. They do exist.
Was there ever a doubt?
There's Flash Sentry. Comparing this cameo to Rainbow Falls, I realized just how well Blue Heapers was used.
Wow, people's efforts to be PC are just getting weird. Oh yeah, apparently the name Derpyhoos was considered too offensive to the fans. Even though I'm pretty sure it was the fans who came up with the name in the first place. Either way, now whenever Silver Quill says it, he says it in reverse.
Flash's appearance doesn't work so well. Had I not seen Equestria Girls, I'd have nothing but questions. Who is this pony? Why does he have different armor? Why isn't he Crystal too? And what's with that look? It only lasts for a moment, yet I'm taken out of the flow.
Oh, I'm sure they'll do something with it. Eventually. Maybe. Me.
Well, I've certainly been talking about characters that people either love, hate, or love to hate. Let's bring in a character that 90% of the fandom, including me, seems to gush over. The return of Discord.
Yeah, I may not exactly be a fan of this show, but even I can't deny, Discord is awesome!
Who's feeling a little blue?
I did that under protest.
Fluttershy may be the only pony willing to show Discord friendship, yet he's hardly reaching across the aisle here. In fact, he keeps referring to friendship as more of an obligation and a guilt trip than a bond.
Isn't that what friends are for? Taking care of each other. Oh, let the healing begin.
Well, you can argue that Discord doesn't really know about friendship in general.
I'm pretty sure that John Delancey could read a shopping list and I'd be entertained. He is the Chuck Norris of voice actors. One cough equals a roundhouse kick.
Wouldn't that mean that his voice acting is unbelievably painful?
One of the best things about trickster personas is that you're never sure if they're being honest. He might have the flu, or this might be a deception. Unfortunately, as he eliminates the main four from the story and all but twirls a mustache, it's clear that this is a ruse and he's here to mess with Twilight and Cadence.
Yeah, but then again, most people probably would have thought that anyway.
And mess away he does, as we have.
A little glass of water, please. A fresh pressed hanky if I sneeze.
John Delancey singing
Whenever you can brew it.
from My Little Pony.
My goodness, I'm a nincompoop because I fear I got the croup.
John Delancey
In soup and skulls made out of zinnias.
from My Little Pony.
And silk or something shiny of that ilk. And then
Okay. Don't get me wrong, the song's enjoyable, but I don't think it's as mind-blowing as Silver makes it out to be.
I'll need some nice warm milk.
Sure, it's not the series' best. Even Delancey himself says he's not a great singer. There have been worse attempts at singing.
Rocket Man. Burning out his fuse out here.
Ah, Shatner. Your assassination of the art of singing has made us laugh for so long.
The real highlight here is how Twilight is forced to play along. And I want to stress that it's Twilight I'm watching. Going into this, I was concerned that Cadence would be so beatific that she'd forgive Discord over and over. It was good to see her acting suspicious and even hiding behind her wings. Unfortunately, Discord and Cadence's interaction is very limited because Discord is focusing on Twilight.
I don't know, I think Cadence is about as involved in events as she needs to be.
Though I still raise an eyebrow at how, oh shoot, I didn't design this character with eyebrows. Hang on, I want to do this proper. I still raise my glorious eyebrows at how two royals can attend an exhibit without any pony turning to look. Yet
Well, this is Ponyville. By this point, having two princesses in town, especially considering the fact that one of them actually lives there, it's not that impressive anymore.
the fact that they at least touched on this really tempers my reaction.
Oh, come on! Stop freaking out, Flash! That was part of your helmet! I think.
It feels like the writers are finding the balancing point between forgetting that Twilight is a princess and playing a princess here before us every time she goes out to get the mail. And the concept doesn't stop there.
I hope you enjoyed those eyebrows, because they will instantly disappear in the next cut.
After Discord's deception is revealed and Twilight is ticked off at nearly being eaten by a sandworm from Beetlejuice? Or Dune?
What do you think? When did we get that installed?
Cadence reminds Twilight and the audience that being a leader can call for theatrics. Discord acts as a dark foil for Twilight by implying that her station will make her arrogant. This coming from a guy who was an arrogant, all-powerful tyrant.
So he knows what he's talking about.
Before I villainize him too much, I want to point out that Discord was just as surprised as any pony by the Dune worm thingy. Yes, he tried to ruin Twilight's day with Cadence. Yes, he teased them to the edge of Equestria to fetch a fake cure, but I don't think that he intended for Twilight and Cadence to face an actual threat. This time he seems genuinely ignorant. He's powerful, not omniscient. If he were, you'd think he'd know how to dodge.
I get the feeling that dodging wouldn't have helped him anyway.
Summarizing this episode feels weird because I can almost skip everything in the middle. Discord's hijinks are fun, and his and Twilight's characters are on full display, yet there's nothing really new to them.
It was a filler episode. Not every episode has to have a good amount of character development. As long as they're displayed in character and the episode is entertaining, it's fine.
We do, however, get to see Cadence and Twilight taking full advantage of their alicorn status, which was a fun battle to watch.
Not exactly the best fight scene of the show, though.
I'm Silver Quill, and I just realized how introducing new creatures usually goes for me. It's like clockwork, I swear.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the first time that's happened.
I am the Kwisatz Haderach. Good grief, that's hard to say.
I'm not even sure what you just said. Anyway, this review is pretty good. One thing I like about Silverquill's videos is that he really takes advantage of this OC setup to do some really out there and over the top jokes. Sure, other brony critics do this too, but not quite to this extent. While this might not be the best review to showcase this, he takes every chance for a good joke that's put in front of him. I'd recommend this review not just to bronies, but to anyone who wants a good laugh and can freely admit to Friendship as Magic being at least a decent show. I'm the review reviewer. You review it, I review you.
My goodness, I'm a nincompoop because I fear I got the croup. I need a vat of pumpkin soup and skulls made out of zinnias. Did I say zinnias? I meant silk or something shiny of that ilk.